Just a bit of housekeeping first. If you caught my last video on this oversized Powerglide figure, I've got the stickers applied now, although I think I should use the outline one. I didn't realize at the time, but there was a flaw in this guy, in this part of this transformation. So there's tabs in here and tabs there, which go into these holes and these slots here. And I didn't realize it, but mine wasn't locking in all the way. It was sitting about like that. And it's supposed to go all the way in, so his head sits there and covers the gray part. It does it now because I took a knife and carved these holes to be a little larger, and now he fits in just fine. So, don't know if they're all like that, but mine had that issue. And I was also going to mention, I mentioned this head was slightly loose, not too bad, but these, on the other hand, his feet are super tight. Oops. And you can see the stress marks on the plastic there that I was talking about, but that's the first time that's fallen off. It seems to be a bit loose now. Anyway, it's good enough. Let's get on to Skullcruncher.
Iron birds of fortune are drift above the sky. Cloudy revelations unseen by naked eyes. Instruments of destruction.
Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to the evening toy. Tonight's evening toy is Skullcruncher. Now, the Titans Return version of this in North America is called Skullsmasher because of a copyright issue, and I guess they lost the copyright. In Japan, in the Takara version, he's still called Skullcruncher, which is his original G1 name. Although in Japan, he's also just called Skull, apparently. So, let's take a look at him. We're going to go over the differences between him and his G1 counterpart, and differences between the Hasbro Titans Return and the Takara Legends version, which I have here in front of me. I just want to show him off in Alligator Mode first. Is he an alligator or a crocodile? Well, I think he is an alligator, because he has the pointy snout. So, there are only minor differences, which we'll go over on the guy himself. Of course, the Takara version has a different head. He was featured in here. I had a hard time deciding between the Hasbro and Takara version with this guy. I ended up going Takara because of the head sculpt. You can see here he's got the G1 style head, whereas Hasbro's interpretation is updated, I guess. It's a new version. It looks like this, which is kind of cool, but it's a bit creepy. And I have been watching the horrible Headmasters cartoon recently, so I opted to go with this. Pay the extra, well, pay the double the price, I guess, to get this head sculpt. Which is probably stupid, but oh well. Of course, he also comes with this thing, which we'll take a look at later. But let's get into Skullcruncher Smasher. I don't have any other versions of Skullcruncher, but I do have Positum, the Fans Project redeco of their Skullcruncher. So they're pretty close in size, in case you're interested in that. This tail works better. This one plugs in to the gap between his legs. And there's also a groove in the top that slides over these two tabs, and it secures nicely. And then there's a hinge within that part of the tail, and this blade flips out. This one is sort of like it just clips on here, that's it. So that's why it's so easily detached. My only complaint with this guy really is that this tail falls off very easily. Otherwise, he's very close to his G1 counterpart. So, this gun I've put onto this port here, but there's lots of display options. The best way is just to stick it under here, and then he's got a little tail extension like that. This also flips up to be a handle so that somebody can hold it. You can put the Headmaster guy, or the Titan Master, which is Grax, you can put him in here to be like a little gunboat thing, I guess. I think this also attaches to Fortress Maximus and the other larger Titan Masters, I suppose. There's also a peg here, so he could hold it this way as some sort of gun thing, I guess. Lots of options. It also plugs into his shoulder in robot mode if you want. I just usually set it aside or hang it off his back, but we'll get there. So, first of all, differences between this and the Hasbro version. Okay, so starting at the head, the Hasbro version has a Decepticon faction symbol here. This one does not. And if we open up his mouth, this Takara version has a nice translucent red tongue. Hope you can see that there. The Hasbro version is gray inside here. I think the eyes are the same translucent red as the tongue, but they don't really have any light piping or anything like that. I think it might be cool if this were, maybe if this were light piped it would look better, and then just have the gray. This is fully painted green on the Hasbro version, whereas here you can see some of the translucent red plastic still showing through. And of course Grax can sit in this nicely detailed little cockpit. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get some light on the situation here. So that's kind of neat. You can sit right in there, like so. Now on the G1 toy, Grax had to sit in the mouth. So this is kind of an improvement, I think. Transformation is actually pretty similar too. So here's the G1 Skullcruncher. Here is the Hasbro Titans Return Skullcruncher. So the next difference is here on the Takara we've got a little Decepticon emblem on each side, whereas on the Hasbro version it's got this little decal here, or this tampograph here, which matches up with the G1 toy. Other than that, they're all pretty similar. I was surprised to see that the Hasbro version actually has the same sort of metallic plastic and paint, which is nice. Only minor differences otherwise. Okay, here's the chest of Robot Mode. This logo isn't present on the Hasbro version, and instead of silver paint here with black underneath, it's just painted black on Hasbro. The G1 toy doesn't have painted rear feet. These claws are just green on the G1 toy, as you can see. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. So let's take a look at Robot Mode. It's a pretty simple transformation. You just sort of unfold the legs. These crocodile legs or alligator legs just sort of sit in there like that. They don't really do much. There's a ball hinge here, but you don't have to really do anything with this at all. It doesn't really transform. The feet, or the feet flip out here like this, and this is kind of neat. The head just pulls back and sits in the back here. Let's take Grax out before we do that. This folds back, and you can see that the way the shoulders are folded on an angle like that, and these grooves just plug in here, or these tabs plug in here rather, and these just fold down. Fold these claws back and hands out. Line up the arms. That's pretty much it. So there's a hinge here as well as here as well, so you can get that looking the way you want. He's a bit back heavy, of course, because of the big crocodile head on the back, but you lean him forward and it's not too bad. So then here's Grax. His head is on a little ball joint, which is good because after you fold him up, it seems to be a little bit less tight if you plug him in backwards and then spin him around. So there he is. I think this head looks a lot better. I actually kind of like the redesigned head that they used for the Hasbro version. It's cool. It's just, in this case, I wanted the G1 looking guy. This is how he looked in the Japanese Headmasters cartoon, and in North America he was only in season 4 of Transformers, which is just a 3-part story called The Rebirth. But this is how he looked. So this tail I was talking about, as I say, you can plug it in here, hold it this way, or what I do is just plug it into his jaw, I guess, and yeah, it makes a big backpack, but you can get him to stand up with that on there. Not too bad. And it's got his little pistol here, which I like. Pretty good. Pretty good. So let's compare Robot Mode. So here again you can see the similarities and minor differences between the other versions. It's a good little figure. I was surprised about the size though. this is the first Titan Master I've bought, and he's a little smaller than I expected. So let's do a little comparison. Here's with the Classics figure, about the same size, and with a Masterpiece, a little bit too small. So yeah, I guess he's still kind of chug scale. Here is with the G1 Headmaster. The only one I have is Chrome Dome. So you can see they've really gone down in size. And the G1 Headmasters are quite a bit larger than the Titan Masters. Try this little noggin around here. So yeah, pretty tiny. The only difference in articulation is these arms are on a ball joint, but they barely move to the side. Otherwise, everything else is the same. The knees are all connected together. But they did manage to paint the face, which is nice. Okay, so here's Skullcruncher with bronze head on, and you can see him being a little bit smaller than the Fans Project Headmaster behind him there. There's another Fans Project in Beast Mode, and some people were wondering why they made another highbrow. I think that's obvious, so that it would be in scale. This highbrow was made, I think, to test the waters, because nothing else matches him. So let's take a look. This doesn't really fit in here, it's too small, it just sits there. This is Highbrow's head, which is, what's his name, Brainstorm? No, that's Brainstorm, not Highbrow. Okay, don't listen to me. This one is kind of got weird arms too, and his legs always fall out. So let's see, does he fit into a new Headmaster? No, too big, so not compatible. But you can give him bronze head. If you want. Alright, time for a head-to-head comparison. Okay, I'll edit that out. Okay, here's a G1 Headmaster, Fans Project, Brainstorm's head, and Titans Masters, Titan Master. So as you can see, they're quite tiny. They should call them Tiny Masters. But, let's see. Will a Titan Master work on Fans Project? Huh, yeah, it kind of does. That actually locks in, well enough. It'll fit. It actually looks good too. See if Brawn fits in there. Yeah, he's too loose. Let's see if... What is... I forget Brainstorm's guy. Is that... No, that doesn't fit. G1? No. So, anyway. You get the idea. Fans, the Titan Masters being smaller, they can fit in anything but not secure. Anything else will not work. Okay, so here we're going to take a look at Mr. Skullcruncher's legs. This crocodile leg, or alligator leg, that sits on the side, I noticed that it's actually attached by way of a separate piece that's slotted in here and then screwed to the main leg, which is kind of odd because I don't really see any purpose. All that piece does is hold this ball joint. I'm not really sure why that would need to be on a separate piece that's attached like that. Not that I know anything about toy manufacturing, mind you, but it seems strange. So, I was thinking that maybe Hasbro had some sort of idea or intention to have the leg fold back inside, which would be great for stability since he only has this little toe. It would make it a lot better if you fold it in, like the Dinobots do on the Masterpiece. Kind of like the Masterpiece Dinobots, but just a simple flip would suffice. So I don't know if they had something in mind for that or not, but when I was looking at pictures online, I came across a mod. This isn't something I came up with myself. People online have done it. That's where I got the idea. So all you have to do is remove that screw with a small screwdriver like this. It's just a little black screw, comes out like that, and then you can actually slide this out. It'll be screwed in like that. Slide it out, and you can reverse it around and slide it back in when you do the transformation. And that toe really helps him stand a lot. You know, being such a back-heavy figure with his head hanging off the back there helps quite a bit. I mean, you can get him to stand fine without it, but it's nice to have that. So it makes him, you know, a bit of a parts former. If you do that, you do have to remove and put this back in. But if you want a bit of a cleaner look and a more stable figure, you can easily do that just by removing that screw. And then that is what a post-op Skullcruncher would look like. And if you want to make that permanent, you can even just clip these little pieces off where the screw is held in. Now, I guess the only other thing to talk about is this little guy that it comes with. These are being sold separately in the Hasbro line. You can buy a Titan Master separately with a little vehicle or beastie like this. In Takara, they're just packaging these with the main figures. So this thing is, I guess it's a triple changer. So this is sort of like a dragon mode. You can see there's another head here though. So this, I think the guy can sort of, I don't know if he does anything in this mode. I guess he could sort of, yeah. I guess he could ride it. I guess, yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do with it. Whee! Very nice, huh? And then, let's see, how do you change this guy? You close... Okay, he's got a handle there because I guess you can turn him into some sort of weapon. Let's take a look at the box. What does it say? Okay, so that's... yeah. That's what the weapon is supposed to look like. Looks like a waste of time to me, so let's not bother with that. The other mode he has, kind of turn upside down. The other mode involves the Titan Master himself. You need to, his legs become the part of the jaw. So this closes up, this becomes the tail. Yeah, so his arms go through here. Stick the head in his butt. And then this closes down so that the legs are his jaw, and that kind of can tab in there if you want it. The other thing I picked up recently was Rewind, so I'll just give you a look. He's pretty good. This is the cannon. I'm just going to put him here next to the KFC version of Rewind so you can see what they look like together. I like them both. KFC is much more articulated, of course, but they both have the little recorder thing like they has an AANNDD. That's pretty good. These arms are a bit awful, but you know, what do you want for $10? So, all right, so that's Skullcruncher and Rewind. So, thank you very much for watching, and good night.